learning. Am I audible? And is my screen is visible to all of you guys? Please confirm in the chat box. Am I audible clearly? Am I audible clearly? Loud and clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. And my screen is also visible? Yeah. Thank
Yes,
you.
it is.
It's very visible.
Yeah. Thank you. So, welcome to Dr. W. Vidyapit, Center for Online Learning. I am your faculty for this course, that is OMBAIML 303 and OMBBA 305, that is Performing Analytics with Python. So, learners, in the last few sessions, I have been covering this first chapter itself. Still, we are in the first chapter itself, because here in the first chapter, uh, most of the Python fundamentals are being covered in the single chapter, so that's why it is taking a bit longer. So we are in the first unit chapter of this OMB AML 303, that is Python fundamentals for data analytics, and in that we have covered Python data structures and data types. What are the operators in Python? What do you mean by event driven programming? And what do you mean by process driven programming? What are local and global variables? How to create buttons and input fields. Then, okay, up to this part we have covered. So now I will start. I will cover the remaining part of this unit. That is, in this session, I'm going to cover about the static drawing and timer. One example of how to create an example of which shows the timing, and then we'll see the control statements and functions. Then we'll have a look at the exception handling and file handling. So before actually starting with this static drawing and timer example, I would like to explain, or I would like to uh, clear the examples or the concept of data frame. I think somebody is not on mute. Please mute yourself. So here, before going for that timer example, I would like to explain about the data frame. As data frames are very important in Python programming, many of the times we are using the data frames, isn't it? See, we have seen the list, we have seen the tuples, we have seen the dictionaries, but list, tuples, dictionaries will present the data in a linear manner, isn't it? So if I have to present the data in the form of a matrix, then I can create a data frame. So here, how to create a data frame? So in order to create a data frame from a list, from a tuple, whatever data structure that you have, so from that I want to create a data frame. So for that we need to call the function called as data frame from the pandas library. So I hope that my the collab screen is visible to all of you. Google Colab. Is it visible, guys? Please confirm in the chat box. My Google Colab, where you can see the code. Yeah. Thank you. So here, as you can see that this is the code that I'm talking about. I'm highlighting the code here. So here, the first thing is that we need to import the pandas library into our file. How to import? Just use the keyword import, specify the library name, and here I'm giving the alias name so that I can refer the pandas libraries with the alias name that is as PD. So by using the object of pandas as PD, I can access all the functions, all the methods of pandas library. So the first thing is that I need to import pandas library, which I have done here as import pandas as PD. Then the second thing is that I need to create a list, isn't it? We should have some input to provide to a data frame. So how we can provide? We can provide it in the form of a list. We can provide the input in the form of a tuple, or we can even provide in the form of a dictionary. So here I have created a list with the name that is LST is equal to, in a square bracket, you can specify the list of items. So here I have specified the list of items as geeks for geeks. So you can give any, you can give input either in the form of string, numbers, float. We can mix the data type. That is the specialty of list, that we can insert different types of data into a list. So here, basically, I have created a list with some strings. So now, if I try to print, or if I try to print this list, how it will be printed? You can see that it is printed in a linear manner, as I have here highlighted the section. So this print statement, print LST statement will will give the output like this. That is in a linear fashion. I don't want in a linear fashion. I want to print it in a matrix. So for that, first you need to create a matrix. First you need to store. First you need to convert that list into a matrix, into rows and columns. So that can be done by using the function that is a data frame from the pandas library. So now here I am doing the same thing here. As you can see, pd.dataframe, and I'm providing the name of the list that is LST. So here the data frame will be created from this list, and the data frame is stored as a df variable. The data frame is stored as df variable. So now when I print df by using the print statement or a print function, so now as you can see here, the output in the form of row and column. So for your sake, I will once again here, I will execute the code so that you can see the code will remain, the output will remain the same. So this is how we can create a data frame. As we are dealing with data frames in Python, whenever we are writing a code, whenever you are analyzing, whenever you're performing the data analysis using Python, we are more or less, we are creating the data frame and we are processing the data frames. So here it is important to understand that how to create a data frame. So how to create a data frame? You just need to call the data frame function. Data frame. See that whenever two words are connected with each other, here we need to remember that. How to remember the syntax? Just remember that whenever two words are connected and created a single word, then the first character of two words should be written in a capital case. So as you can see here, data D capital, frame F capital. So data frame, then I'm calling this is a function. So that's why pair of parentheses, and to that function I have to provide the input that is in the form of LST. So LST is what? LST is my list which contains a list of strings. So I want to convert this list of strings into a data frame. So for that here I'm giving input that is LST to the data frame function of pandas library with the help of its object, that is PD is the object of pandas which I have imported here. So now I can refer, like I said, that I can refer all the functions of pandas with the help of PD. PD dot data frame. We'll call the function data frame from pandas library. After that, a data frame will be created and it will be stored into the df variable. Now df is what? Df is a data frame. So now if I print df, its content with the help of a print statement or print function, then I will get the output that is entirely in a different way. So as you can see that the output of list, that is it will print in a linear fashion, because lists are stored in a linear way, one after the another. So if I have to store them, if I have to process them as a matrix, then we need to convert that list into a data frame, which can be done with the help of data frame function of pandas library. I hope you have understood how to create a data frame. Next, move on. So here I have created the data frame from a single list, isn't it? But what if I have to create a data frame from two lists? From I'm having two lists. For example, first list is the I'm having in the first list I'm having the first name, and in the second list I'm having the last name. So now I want to create a data frame from these two lists. So here what I have done, I have created two lists with the last name and first name, having last name and first name in the respective lists. After that here, first I have converted this last name and first name into a dictionary. As you can see that here, inside the data frame function, I have given the curly braces, and as you can see that in the curly braces, in a single quote, first name, single quote complete, colon, then its value, comma, again the second pair, that is last name, colon, and last name. So here, first name is what? First name is the key. First name is the key, and first names are its values. So here I can refer all the values of my first name, its key, that is by first name. Again, for this last name as well, to access the last name, I am giving the key as last name. You can give any other name. This is important. Values, where values are stored? The values are stored in last name and first name. So here I have created a dictionary, and from this dictionary I am creating the data frame with the help of, as you can see here, df is equal to pd dot data frame, and here I have provided a dictionary. So here I have created the dictionary from two lists. Then I have provided that dictionary to the data frame function, so that a data frame can be created from this dictionary, and which is stored into the df variable. So now after, if I say here df, then you can see the output. You can see the output in the form of a data frame, that is first name Sarah. What is its last name? That is Connor, as you can see here. Again, for John, John is the first name. What is its last name? That is again Connor. Kylie, last name is what? Rezi. So what we'll do here, we will change the names. Say for example, I will say here as Sachin is my first name, or Sachin is the first name, and Tendulkar is the last name. In the same way here, we will take as Virat as first name, and Kohli as last name, and again one more name I will take, that is Rohit, and last name is Sharma. So now here I am having two lists, separate two lists. In the first I am having surname, in the second one I am having the first name. So now I want to create a data frame from these two lists. So here what we need to do, first we need to establish or create a relationship between these two lists. Since first name and last name they are related with each other. So here that's why here I have created a dictionary where I can refer the first names with this dictionary and the second, that is last name, with the second pair of dictionary or second pair in the dictionary rather. So now again, if I have executed, now you can see the output, that is Sachin Tendulkar, Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. So this is also we can create a data frame. So there are number of ways to create a data frame. But what is important here, the important thing that we need to know, that we need to understand is that if you have to create a data frame, then you have to call the function that is a data frame by providing the input and with the object of pandas. So pd dot data frame will call the data frame function from the pandas library. So this is again one more way of creating a data frame. Again here, if I have to rename the column names, see that this is the example of renaming a column. So here I'm having the column name. Initially, I'm having the column name as calendar year, and I'm having the column name as year and top animal. So the column names are year and top animal. So now I want to change the column name from year to calendar year and from top animal to favorite animal. So how I can do that? So by using the rename function, using the rename function of the data frame I can rename the column names of my data frame. So now here, now I'm processing with the data frame. Here in this example, we have only created the data frame. We haven't uh, we haven't manipulated the data frame. But in this example, here we have manipulated the data frame. As you can see here, df dot rename. So first thing is that I have created a data frame. As you can see here, import pandas as pd. Df is equal to pd dot data frame, and in that I have created a dictionary, that is year and top animal. So year is associated with top animal in the form of a dictionary. So now I'm having I'm having a dictionary, and from this dictionary, I have created a data frame. Like in this example, we have created a data frame from a dictionary. So here again, from the dictionary, I am creating a data frame, and that is stored, that is data frame is stored as df. So, okay, what I will do here, I will give the comment so that first we'll execute the df. Now how it will looks. So before executing this, so if you want to ignore, if you don't want to execute a statement, then you should just write, just type the hash value. Hash means what? If you give the hash, it means that that statement is not going to be executed by the compiler. So here, for the time being, I don't want to execute this code. So now for that, I have given the hash before that statement. So now these statements are not going to be executed by the compiler. It is simply ignored. So now when I execute this, can you see the output here? See here. What is the column name? That is year. What is the column name? Second, that is top animal. So here you can see 2016 is giant panda, 2015 as chicken, 2014 as pig, 2015 as turkey, and 2012 as dog. So now I want to change this column name, this year and this top animal, to calendar year and to favorite animal. So for that, here I have written the code. So now I will remove the hash mark so that it can execute. So how to rename a columns? For that, you need to call the rename function of the data frame. So where is my data frame? Data frame is in the form of df object. As you can see here, I have created a data from here, data frame. So now I can use all the functions. I can manipulate the data frame by referring the object of that data frame. In this case is df. So if I say here df dot rename and columns is equal to year to calendar year and top animal to favorite animal. And after that, again, if I have to print, then I will just say df. Now we can see the output. Can you see the change in the output? Now the column name is changed from year to calendar year and from the top animal to favorite animal. So I hope you understood this, how to rename a column. We need to specify, we need to call first the rename function of the data frame, and we need to specify for which column that you are giving a different name. Like for example, in this case, year is the original name and calendar year is the new name, and top animal is the original name and favorite animal is the new name. So in this way, we can rename a column name by calling the rename function of data frame. So the next example would be, like I said, to create an example of a timer. Any questions, guys? Any queries regarding this up to this point? Then why are you adding in place true? In place true means which one you are talking about? Can you clarify your query? Okay, we'll come back to that in place. So first here, in the rename data frame part, top animal at the end, you have added that statement. Okay, I will come back to your query. So here now, I understood your query. I will explain that. So this is the example of creating an example or creating a program of countdown. So here, first we need to import the time library. So here I have imported the time library here. After that, I am defining the function with the name as a countdown. So how to define a function? To define a function in Python, we have to use the keyword that is def. After that, you can write the name of the function. Function name should not be a keyword. So see that we are not using the name of any keywords for giving a name to a function or to a variable or to your program. Keywords are having special meaning, so we should not use the keywords for giving a name to our variables and to our functions. So how to define a function in Python? We need to use the keyword def. After that, you can write the function name. You can give the function name, then a pair of braces. And if that function accepts any input value, then you should define the variable name that is called as parameter. So here I'm going to provide one value to this function. So that's why here I have defined the parameter as t. After that, you should give a colon. So this is called as a function signature. This is called as function signature. that is def keyword, the function name, the pair of parentheses, rounded parentheses, and a colon. This is called as function signature. After that, whatever you write, this will be the, up to this point, will constitute the body of the function. The body of the function. So here I am writing a statement like while t means what? While the value of this t, while this value of this t is true. True means what? True means non-zero value. So until and unless the value of t becomes 0, I want to execute all these statements. Can you see the indentation? See, the indentation in Python is very important. If you miss the indentation or you misplace a space, or if you give a space, then you will get an error. So indentation is very important, as Python do not uses the parenthesis, the Python do not uses the curly braces, as you have, if you know about Java, then you have to define a block by using the pair of curly braces at the beginning and at the closing. So in case of Python, there is no curly braces to define a block. A block is defined by using the indentation, by leaving the spaces. So here, as you can see that after while, I have given a space. You can see here, these are the spaces. These are the spaces, isn't it? So what it means? It means that while the value of this t variable, I'm going to provide the value for this t variable when I call the function. So while the value of this t variable is true, that is non-zero, execute the statements which are written after that while t. So now, after while t, here, as you can see, I have defined minutes and seconds variable. And to this minutes and seconds variable, I have called the div mode function. Now, what this div mode function will do? The div mode is a built-in function. It is provided by Python. I don't need to define it. It is already defined. It is already given in the Python. I just need to call. What this div mode function will do? The div mode function will return the quotient and the remainder in the form of a tuple. So it means that if I provide the value as say 10, 60, the value as say 10, 60, then tell me what value I'm going to get here. Which value I'm going to get here, or what value the div mode function will return. Like I said that the div mode function will return first year, that is the quotient, and the second value as the remainder. Means what? The div mode will divide this value by this value, and it is going to give you the quotient and remainder. Now tell me, if I provide the value as say 10, 60, what value I will get from this div mode? I'm expecting the answer from you guys. So what value I will get? Please give the answer in the chat box. 0.6. Yeah, 0, 60. 0, 60? No. What you will get? It's 0, 10, not 6. 10 is divided by 60, na? So what is the remainder? The remainder is 10, and the question is 0. So I will get as 0, 10. If I provide 10, 60. If I provide 5, 2, what does that div mode function will return? It will return quotient as 4 and remainder as 1. Am I correct or not? Am I right? Or am I wrong? Guys, am I audible? Okay, I will unmute you so that you can interact at the same time. Yeah. So if you want to ask, if you want to interact, please unmute yourself and you can ask. Am I right? Yeah. Thank you. So if I provide the input as say 10, 60, then this div mode will return me the quotient as 0 and the remainder as 10. So now I'm having t as 0 and this one as say 10. So minutes now are 0 and seconds are say 10, isn't it? I have called the div mode function which returns and providing the value as say 10, 60. So for that, after executing this function, in minutes I'm having 0 and in seconds I'm having 10. So it means that I want to iterate these statements. I want to iterate this while loop for 10 times, isn't it? So for that, I need to decrement the value of t every time this while loop will be executing. So for that, after calling this div mode function, I am printing, I am having the timer, that is timer is equal to, this is the format, we will talk about this later on. I just want to print the timer in this format. So that's why here I want to give 2 zeros before printing. So that's why this is a format. We will talk about this later on. So don't worry about this. This is only for formatting purpose, for displaying purpose. So don't worry about that. Dot format. So here minutes and seconds. So it means that the minutes and seconds will be printed in the format of giving 2 zeros before and dot and prints minutes and seconds. So when you see the output, then you will understand the how the minutes and seconds are being printed. So now I am printing the timer. So now how it will be printed? It will be printed by giving 2 zeros dot 10, next 2 zeros dot 9, 2 zeros dot 8, 2 zeros dot 7, 2 zeros dot 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. And when the value of t becomes 0, the loop will get exited. But for that, I need to write this statement, that is t is equal to t minus 1. So now what is the value of t initially? The value of t is 10. So first time it will print the value as, this timer will print the value as say 10. After that, by using the sleep function, I'm making this function, I'm making the time to stop for a single second. To stop for single second, and then after I'm decreasing the value of t, that is t is equal to t minus 1. So now the value of t is 9. But still it is true. Again, it will come here to this. Now what I'm providing here, I'm providing the value as say t as 9 and 60. So this will give me what value? That is 0 and 9. So this div mode will give me value as 0, 9. Now in the timer, I am just formatting how it should be printed by giving 2 zeros dot minutes and seconds. Now I'm printing the timer. Now what it will print? It will print as 2 zeros dot 9. I'm again stopping the execution for a single second by calling the sleep method. Now again I am decrementing the value of t. Now it becomes 8. So again it is true. So it will print as 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And when the value of that t becomes 0, so now this condition is satisfied. Means what? This condition becomes false here. Why? While t means what? While the value of t is true, while the value of t is non-zero. So when it becomes 0, the condition is here false. So that's why your complete the control comes out of this body of this loop, and it will print the print statement, that is fire in the hole, when all these statements inside that while loop will get executed successfully. So when your while loop will get exited, when it will get exited, when the value of that t becomes 0. So as soon as the value of t becomes 0, the control will come out of this while loop and it will print the statement that fire in the hole. So now this will get printed. So this is the complete function. So this is a complete function, as you can see here, and you can see the indentation of while. So this is while loop, and this is a statement of my function. So you can say that all these statements I am highlighting here, all these statements form the part of the function called as countdown. You can see the indentation here. You can see the indentation. So after that, I have to call a function. Until and unless you call a function, your countdown function is not going to execute. So for that, I need to call the function. How to call the function? You have to specify the function name with its parameter. Why? Because this countdown, as you can see that the countdown function is expecting a single value. So here I have to provide a number when I am calling the function. So here, as you can see, I am asking the user to enter a number in seconds by using, by calling or by writing the input function. So this is an input function. Input function is used to accept the input from the user. If I have to accept the input from the user, then I have to use the input built-in input function. But the problem with this input is that, so here I have called the input function, and whatever input that you will provide, that will be accepted and stored into the t variable. And after that, I have to call the countdown function. And like I said, that the problem with this input function is that whatever data that you provide through the input function, that will be accepted as a string. So even if I provide a number, that number is also accepted as a string. It is not accepted as a number. So I need to convert that string into a number. So that's why you can see that here, when I'm calling the function countdown, as you can see here, how to call a function, just specify the name of the function, then provide the argument that the function is expecting. So here this function is expecting the argument of type integer, but here the input function is having a string value. So I need to convert it from string to integer. So that's why you can see here I have given int, means what? So here the t value is converted to integer, and after that the countdown function will be called. So when the compiler will execute this statement, the control will be transferred to the definition of this function or to the function body. So here suppose that I have provided value as say 10. So now first thing what happens here, the 10 will be converted into integer, because like I said that whatever data that you provide through input function, it will be accepted as a string. So I don't want a string, I want a number. So for that I have to typecast it. This is called as typecasting. Typecasting means what? You are converting a value of one type into another type. That is called as a type casting. So here I am typecasting the value of string into integer so that I can provide the integer to the countdown function. So now 10 will be converted into integer. That 10 will be provided to the countdown function in the form of a t. Now while t means what? While the value of t is true means what? True means non-zero value and false is zero value. So while the value of t is non-zero, execute all the statements in the loop, and as soon as the value of t becomes zero, exit from the loop. So when it exits from the loop, it will print the message as fire in the hole. After that, the whole function body will get exited. The control will be transferred at the or to the line where you have called that function. So here I would execute this statement, this function or this program. So just watch out the output. So here, like I said that I have used the input function. So now I am providing the input as say 10. So now the do mode function, first the 10 will be converted into integer, and after that it will the 10 will be passed to the countdown function. Then the statements inside the body of the function will get executed. So here I'm providing 10. So now you can see here 0.10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And when the value of t becomes 0, now I will getting the output as fire in the hole. So now I will execute one more time. Now I am giving different value. So for example, I will provide as say 6, that is 6 seconds. So now first I will get as 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so now here I will change the format. So it means what? As you can see that colon 02D means what? Before printing the value, print two zeros and dot. So now instead of I'm saying two zeros, I will say as say 10, 1D. This is formatting purpose, guys. This is only for the formatting purpose, nothing in that. So now I'm providing as say 10 as input. You can see here single zero colon 10 9 8 7 4 5 3 2 and 1. So this is a simple example of a timer. I hope you understood this complete the code of this timer. Yeah. So guys, any queries, any questions regarding this?
No, sir.
Yeah. Have you understood this code? Please
Yes,
give
sir.
your answer in the chat box. Yes, well understood. Thank you, Enoch, Radhe, Solomon. So thank you all. So the next example would be, it's about exception handling. Exception handling. So before going for exception handling, we'll see the control statements. That would be a better way to understand the concepts. So here we'll see what are the control statements available in Python. Control statements are the statements which are used to control the execution flow of a program, isn't it? In life also we have to make many changes. We have to take many decisions rather. We always have multiple options, isn't it? We always have multiple options with us. So from that multiple options, which option I should go for with, isn't it? Say for example, if I get 90 over 90%, then I will go for medical. If I get below 80 or 70, I will go for engineering. If I get below 60, I'm just giving an example. Don't take it very seriously. I'm giving on a lighter mode. I'm just giving the example. So if I get 60%, then I will go for commerce. So it means that in life also, we have to take many decisions based on the outcome of something. If I get a salary of this one, then I will purchase this one. If I get a lottery of this one, then I will go and purchase this one. So it means that on the basis of the outcome, we have to take decisions. So in the same way, in a Python, also, if you want to change the execution flow based on the outcome of a particular condition, then here we need to use the control statements. We need to use the control statement. So basically, in Python, we have the if and ternary operators. So how to use the control statements? Control statements are used, or control statement will allow you to control the flow execution of your program. Means what? If a condition is true, then do this, else do another thing. If something is true, then print this, else print something else. So for this kind of working, for this kind of output, wherever we need to take a decision on the basis of the outcome of a particular condition, we need to use the control statements. So basically, we are using the if control statement, if and ternary control statements. So here I am writing the example as say a is equal to 33 and b is equal to 200. Now I am checking that what is the value of a, whether the value of a is greater than b. If the value of a is greater than b, then print this. So how to write this condition? So that is, if we need to write the condition and we have to give a colon. If we have to write the condition, then a colon. So it means that if, say for example, if you are greater than 20, then I would say that you are a major, else you are a minor. So for this, I have to use the if condition. So I will write if condition as if age is greater than 20, print you are major, else print you are minor. So here I am just checking what is the relation between A and B. If B is greater than A, then say that B is greater, else say that A is greater. But here I have not used the else part. This is only a simple form of a if. There are different variants of if, that is simple if else, if else, nested if. So different variants of if is available depending on the outcome, what outcome that you expect or what outcome that you require. Based on that, we can use different variations, different versions of if. So here with starting point, we are starting with a simple if. If the value of b is greater than a, then only print b is greater than a. Else, don't take any action. So in this case, the value of b is greater than a. So definitely I will get a print message executing that b is greater than a. But vice versa, if I say here, if a is greater than b, so now print a is greater than b. But this statement is not going to be executed. Why? Because this condition evaluates to false. So this print statement will not get executed. I will not get anything here. Because here I have not used, I have not defined the else part. So that's why if the condition is true here in this case only, then this will get printed. If the condition becomes false, then no action will be taken since I haven't returned the else part. Okay, now I will change this. I will say here as say age, AGE, and I will provide the age as say 20. Now I'm making a change here. So now if I'm saying here age is greater than equal to 18, then print you are a major. Print you are major. Okay, I will remove this remark. Else, print. Now I'm writing the else part. You are minor. Now let's execute this statement and see what happens here. Invalid syntax else. So as you can see here, the indentation is wrong here. Yeah. Can you see the output here? Age, since the age, what is the age? That is 20, which is greater than 18. So that's why I'm getting that you are a major. So this condition is true. So that's why the statement which is written after the if condition is going to be executed. But now I will do that. I will change the age from 20 to 17. Now let's see what it will see, what it will get. You are a minor. Why? Because this condition is false. So that's why the control is shifted to the else part and the statement which is given after the else part will get executed. So this is how we can write the if condition, simple if and if else. I hope you understood this concept. Before we will conclude this session, we have time, but here I would just like to give the feedback link for this session. So be there in this session. Still we have a time, so don't ever worry about that. But the thing is that sometime I forget to give the feedback link. So that's why I am giving the feedback link here. So I am giving the link for the feedback, and I expect all you learners to give your feedback in the feedback form. No, its session is not over as yet. Rohan. Yeah, here I am giving the feedback link to everyone, and I hope it is quite visible. So please give your feedback by filling the feedback form. So now we'll come back to our session. So this is if and simple if and if else statement. Now, if you want to check multiple conditions, here I have checked only single condition, that is if age is greater than equal to 18. But if I have to check multiple conditions, then I have to use the if and else if. So in Python, instead of writing else if, we write the elif, that is elif. Means what? If b is greater than a, then print that b is greater than a. Else if whether a and b are greater, then print that a and b are greater, a and b are equal. Else a is greater than b. So here I am checking more than single condition. First I am checking that whether b is greater than a, or whether a and b are equal. If b is greater than a, then print that b is greater than a. So in this case, this condition becomes false, isn't it? Because the value of a is 100 or 200 and the value of b is 33. So this condition becomes false. So it means that this printf is not going to be executed. So now what it will do? It will go to the else if statement and try to check the condition whether a and b are equal. No, a and b are not at all equal. So that's why it will go to the else part here and print that a is greater than b. which is in this case is true. So now what I will do, I will change the value of B to 200. So now the first condition is false, but the second condition, that is A is equal to B, is true. So now this print statement will get executed that A and B are equal. A and B are equal. So if you want to check multiple conditions, more than one condition, then we have to use the second version or the next version of if, that is if condition statement, else if condition statement, and else. Means what? If these two conditions fail, then what action should be taken? The action should be taken which is written after the else part. So if you want to check multiple conditions in a program, then we have to use the if and else if version of if. So this is how we can use the else, that is else if. Again, one more type of condition that we can use, that is called as a ternary operator, by using the ternary operator. Why it is called as ternary operator? Because it accepts three arguments, that is the printf statement, the condition, and the else part. So here all three parts are written in a single line, that is the condition. If the condition is true, then print statement. If the condition is false, then the else statement. So all three parts are written in a single line, and this is called as a ternary operator, or we can say conditional operator. So here I have given the value of A is equal to 2 and B is equal to 330. So now I am checking if the value of A is greater than B, which is not. So this will not get printed. So what will get printed? It will print as say B. So it will print as B. Now what I will do, I will change the value of A from 2 to say for example 500. So now what I will get? I will get as A. So what it means that if this condition is true, then the print this statement. If this condition is false, then go to the else part and print the statement which is given after the else part. So this is called as ternary operator, or you can say conditional operators, where the condition and the statements and the else part and the statements are written in a single line. Now the next version of if, that is nested if. Nested means what? If within another if. If one condition is true, then only go and check for the second condition. If first condition is false, then simply exit. That is called as nested if. Nested if is a if which is defined inside another if. So we have nested if, we have nested loop as well. That is while within while, for within for. That is nested loop, nested if, one if which is inside the another if is called as nested if. So here nested if means what? If one condition is true, then only go and check for the second condition, else exit from that nested if. So for example, here I have given the M status is equal to Y in a capital letter Y or in a small letter y, and age is as 21. So now I have to check that a person should be married and his age should be greater than 21. Then only I am going to give the insurance policy. This is my policy of my company. So here I need to check two conditions at a time. If M status is equal to Y, he should be married, and if he is married or she is married, then only go and check his or her age. Otherwise, don't go and check for the age. If that person is not married, then don't need to check his or her age. So you're getting my point. It means that if one condition is true, then only then only go and check for the second condition, that is called as nested if. That can be done with the help of nested if. So in this case, if I'm going to give the insurance policy, insurance cover to an employee only if or she is married, and if or she is the age is greater than equal to 21. So if he is married or she is married, then only go and check his age. Suppose that he is not married, then there is no need to go and check his age, because in order to give the insurance policy, two conditions must be met, must be satisfied, that he should be married and his age should be greater than equal to 21. Then only I am going to give insurance policy. Otherwise, I am not going to give insurance policy. So for that sake, I have to use the nested if. So in this way, I can write the nested if. So now what is saying that you are insured. Now what I will do, I will say from marital status from say Y to say N or small n. So now, but this the age is still greater than equal to 21, but marital status is not married. So now what I will get, I will get that you are not insured. So here the compiler has not checked the age, isn't it? Can you see the age is greater than 21 or equal to 21? But the thing is that since the first condition is not satisfied, so that's why the compiler has not entered inside that nested if. So that's why even though the age is greater than 21 is not going to be checked by the compiler. So for such cases, if you want to check one condition only upon the satisfaction of the other condition, so in that case we have to use the nested if. So guys, just give me a minute, just give me a minute. I think the battery is going down. Yeah, I think fine, it's fine. So guys, any queries, any questions? I hope you understood the examples that here I am explaining. So this is about the nested if. So now here the next version of this nested if, here I have given the static version. So now here by using the input box, I am asking the user to enter your marriage status and your age. So now here I am saying as say Y, small y or capital Y, and my age is greater than equal to 21. I will say 22. So now I will get as say you are not insured. Why I am not insured? Okay, here I have given only as say capital Y. So here I have to write small y or capital Y. I have to give two conditions. So now I will say as small y as married and age is as greater than 21. So now I am saying that you are insured. Now what I will say here, I am saying marriage status as say N, not married, age greater than 21. I am giving as 23. So now what I will get? You are insured. So I am getting a wrong here. Something is wrong. If status is equal to YY or Y. Give me a minute. Let's say N and say 19. Yes. 22 insured. Okay. So here I have to convert. Yeah, I have converted it. Okay, I have to give it into. Okay, one more time I'm executing it. I'm saying as say N, and I'm giving the age as say 23. But still it is giving as insured. If I remove this, okay, give me a minute. If I say here N and say 22, yeah, you're not married. Okay, again I will say here as say married status as Y, but age I'm giving it as say 18. So still I'm not insured. Why? Okay, I will check this example one more time. Here I'm saying as say Y, but age having as say 16. It is not checking the age. Okay, I will check this one. We'll move on to the next. Okay, we'll move on to the next example. That is the last example I will take. That is of looping. So if you want to perform, if you want to repeat a particular loop a number of times, then in Python we have the for loop and we have the while loop. So how to repeat a set of instructions a number of times? So for that here, I can define the while loop, that is say while I is less than 5, print I, then I have to increment the value of I, that is I is equal to I plus 1. So I want to print the value of I until the value of I is less than 6. So now what I will get values? I will get values as say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So if I have to print the values from say 1 to 10, then I have to give as less than equal to 10. That is the while I less than equal to 10, print the value of I. After that, increment the value of I 1 each time the value of the while loop will get executed. So initially, as you can see, the value of I is 1. So now, if I print, what I will get as say from 1 to 10. So guys, I think we have running out of time. So thank you everyone for joining this session. Till we meet the next time, it's a very goodbye for now. Have a great day ahead, and I hope that you have given your feedback by filling up the Google form. So thank you everyone for joining this session.